Fellow South Africans, good afternoon. We have a matter at the Western Cape High Court of South Africa, Cape Town, and I am currently now just busy trying to assemble the parties. And while I do assemble the parties, this matter must be heard in accordance with its terms. So the court's registrar was instructed to place this matter on the roll for hearing on Microsoft Teams via Team Link. And then this is what we want to get to. In the High Court of South Africa, Western Cape Division, Cape Town, case number 19275 of 2020, in the matter between Lieutenant Commander Sylvester Volane Mangolele, the plaintiff, and the state, the first defendant, President of the Republic of South Africa is the second defendant, Minister of Defense, the third defendant, Chief of the South African Navy, fourth defendant, Officer in Charge Lexato Cape Town is the fifth defendant, Mr. Marcel Duvet is the sixth defendant, Minister of Police is the seventh defendant, and the National Prosecuting Authority, the third party, in which a notice of set down directs that please place this matter on the roll for hearing via Microsoft Team Link. That one on 21st day of September 2021 at 14:30 or as soon thereafter as counsel may be heard in terms of Section 18 of the Superior Courts Act under the following circumstances. Let us allow the link to settle, and then let us come to the meeting. I am waiting for participants, and then these particular participants were also warned in relation terms of an email that was sent early this morning. That was 3 hours ago, and then wherein the participants in that particular email are Elmarie Sivas, which is the Secretary to the Deputy Judge President of the Western Cape High Court, and it is Ruan David, which is the Chief Registrar of the Western Cape High Court, and Dee Haley and Valerie Noah, and then Bernadette Berger and Liandi Esthazen and Anthony Marinas, and then Lizette Potgieter as the Secretary to the Judge President. All others are registrars of the court, and Andrews, which is Chantel, and Andrews, which is the registrar to the Honorable Mangulokut, I believe, if I'm not confusing her with Bernadette Berger. No, Bernadette Berger is the registrar for the Honorable Pakut J. Pangaka J. My apologies. And then Nanyaniso Goniwe is the state attorney, the instructing attorney to Madota Titus, who is the advocate on the record of court, and then Co Bailey and Jill Hussein are the other parties who are of interest to the matter. And then same applies to Lihlonololo Mangolele and then Hlamalane Mangolele, the family members, and then Kay Williams and Carol Williams and Zuki Pinar are members of the judiciary that were informed of this particular matter. And coming to this reality is that when was this? Friday on 10 September. Dear Ms. David, thank you for your email, the contents of which is handed to Deputy Judge President Goliath. Kind regards, Elmer Resevius. And then this was the matter when the Deputy Judge President was requested to direct, or the Judge President was requested to direct a full bench to have this matter heard. Now, going again to the same link to join the meetings, and then open Microsoft Teams, and then here is the meeting. I have already joined it. I'm only awaiting for participants, and the video can be switched on and off, as you can see, but the video is now fed to this particular reality. If maybe we can do this for now and then share only the screen, transmit, and then enable. Where is Camlink? Lock it, and such that this Camlink appears here. It's okay. What is happening? Am I failing on integrated web camera? OBS file. It's taken there. Let's allow it, and then let's allow this OBS to have it there. So where are you? Was I to share the link? So this is the difficulties that we are having in this particular regard. However, this stops, in the interest of justice, does not stop any party from sharing a link in which they can receive my video feed and with me on it. So I did not get any other email in this regard. If I am to go back there, responding to this other than, let's close this, other than the fact that the email address of Cole Bailey, the message wasn't delivered because address couldn't be found or is unable to receive mail. And the rest of the people have received this particular matter. And this is the notice of set down that they have received. It is the same set down that I have just taken this link from, as you have seen, and the same set down that I will take you through as we progress in this particular matter. Fellow South Africans, when acting in accordance with the Constitution and the law, and with honor, dignity, courage, and integrity, you are constitutionally bound to perform your functions diligently and without delay. In so doing, it's an issue where one has to understand the reality of us having to enjoy what our freedom entails. If I did say anything that is wrong to anybody, obligating them to perform their constitutional obligations, and such obligations are not being performed, as is the case by the respective parties, we have a problem. And having a problem, it's an issue of having to see how best can we assist people as the country or its government. Because in any event, the government of the Republic is its people. Without its people, the Republic cannot govern. And then, having regard of the reality and obligations imposed by the Constitution, one cannot sit and do anything but only be forced to watch corruption, criminal activity, and misconduct taking place. And people are happy to say, no, today we fought corruption, criminal activity, and then we did the things that are right. In doing these things, we made sure that a fellow South African is without food. We made sure that a fellow South African is without his inalienable rights. And why did we do that? We did that to ensure that criminal activity, corruption and misconduct is promoted. And in promoting such criminal activity, we have employed barbaric ways and means to achieve such. And in achieving such, we ensured it, that those who oppose us suffer irreparable harm, as is the case with the plaintiff. And having regard of that particular reality, the practice note on record of court sets out all issues that the court must consider in relation to all averments advanced before the record of court. Because the reality is that the administration of the incumbent fifth president, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, is in direct assault of the obligations imposed in terms of Section 2 of the Constitution. I wish to say otherwise, but right now we are experiencing a reality in which the supremacy of the Constitution and the rule of law is not respected. And I want to say to these people, as you are all watching me, say that, reply to all of them, good day all. Kindly note that the matter is currently scheduled to be heard in accordance with its terms. And all parties are humbly requested to to click on this link. Where is that link? Copy. Paste. On this Microsoft Teams. Kindly note that this matter is currently scheduled to be heard in accordance with its terms, and all parties are humbly requested to click on this Microsoft Teams link. In compliance with obligations imposed, terms of section 34 of the Constitution, which provides that everyone has the right to have any dispute that can be resolved by the application of law decided in a fair public hearing before a court where appropriate another independent fora. The basic principles public administration. Excuse me, public administration. And also it is my time, and I will show you how you refer to these things. This thing is not coming out of my mind, but it's coming out of the Constitution itself. I'm just in good knowledge of the Constitution to understand its provisions and refer to them as they are. So the judges who told the other people that, hey, Mangolele knows the Constitution, they were not lying, they were right. They were correct, if I may put it correctly. So here is what I'm looking for: public administration, the basics of it. And then we come here. Must know your computer, control your computer, don't let it control you. Basic, where are we? Principles. We're missing the term values, the basic values and principles governing administration, governing public administration, 1G the basic values and principles governing public administration imposes an obligation at section 1951G of the Constitution that transparency must be fostered by providing the public with timely, accessible, and accurate information and that the people's needs must be responded to, and the public must be encouraged to participate in policy making. And that the people's needs must be responded to, and the public must be encouraged to participate in policy making is included as a democratic Let's kill these feeds. I don't like the feeds, they are disturbing. The office. Thank you, excuse me for that. is an enshrined and that the people's needs must be responded to and the public must be encouraged to participate in policy making. Enshrined. Democratic value and principle. Your grammar is a problem when you are writing, but when you are saying it, it's very, 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 very easy. You know, I've said this sentence simply but to put it, because when you are putting it at put, it must be interpreted not as how you would say it, but then as how you would write it and actually say it. And that the people's needs must be responded to and the public must be encouraged to participate in policy making is an enshrined democratic value and principle governing. No. Is contemplated. Or provided for in terms good. Let's bring it here. G. Then this principle. G and who. He came afterwards. Yeah, we are operating in intentional reverse, but that is what it says. And then I cannot overemphasize this. We must solve the imbalances of the past. public administration must be broadly representative of the South African people, with employment and personal management practices based on ability, objectivity, fairness, and the need to redress the imbalances of the past. C. Section 195 1I of our supreme law. What should I say? I ask I'm done asking myself. We've asked. I await all parties to join the meeting. Regards. Let me send it to them. No. I took time, but anyway, it is what the message that they will receive, because we need to get a conclusion on this matter as to what is happening. In this meeting is just only one people, which is me, the organizer, so I cannot be in a position where one is not doing the things that must be done, or one is doing things that other people don't want to do. So it is those issues that one is looking at, and then in looking at those particular issues, one cannot do away with the reality. So, good people, I humbly ask the court to do what it is employed to do. I humbly ask all people to understand the reality of this particular matter and understand that I suffer irreparable harm as a result of inaction, while one follows all constitutional obligations. And I mean all constitutional obligations. My countrymen, right here and now, time has come for you to actually see the reality when organs of state are not performing in accordance with their respective mandates. It is this particular reality that must be addressed. A decline in critical capabilities that must be arrested through immediate directed interventions. This is a directed intervention when I allow you all to see the reality of our country and the way I am actually being treated in relation to all things that must be done by the people of our country who are employed to do such job. For other people, judges do have virtual hearings. For Mangolele, there is no virtual hearing, because what we are actually doing is that we are denying Mangolele a fair hearing. And that is not the other parties who are doing so, it is the judiciary on its own. And now, this brings one to a syndicate operating in critical capabilities of state. You have actual competence that is able to follow the rules of court and set down the matter in accordance with the practice directives as any senior counsel or any judge would expect any practicing advocate to do. However, the reality is, because we are now personal with Mangolele, we will persecute him. Because if we were professional with Mangolele, we would then prosecute him. The reality is that with personalities comes persecution, with professionalism comes prosecution. Whichever comes with whichever. The reality is that the court is open to public 24/7. Section 9(1) of the Superior Courts Act cements this fact. I cannot overemphasize the practice directives issued by the Chief Justice indicating the dies indicae of Section 18 to be 2 hours. And that 2 hours should be less the hour of lunch. So, coming back to the notice of set down, we have sorted out the issues of the link, and then we have taken into account that the participants who are the parties are not adhering to these terms and take into account the following circumstances. The plaintiff's inalienable right to life guaranteed in the Bill of Rights of the Constitution is entrusted to the nation and the first defendant, which is the state. The Deputy Judge President the Judge President failed to direct a full bench to hear the matter in terms of Rule 612A since 8 September 2021. And the plaintiff does not know to what end will the judiciary fail to uphold the judicial authority of the Republic as mandated in terms of Section 165 of the Constitution. And when I say Section 165 of the Constitution, I say the entire Section 165 of the Constitution up until 1656, which obligates that the Chief Justice exercises the responsibility of here is Section 165, where the judicial authority of the Republic is vested into the courts. The courts are independent and subject only to the Constitution and the law, only which they must apply impartially, without fear, favor, or prejudice. No person or organ of state may interfere with the functioning of the courts. Organs of state, through legislative and other measures, must assist and protect the courts to ensure the independence, impartiality, dignity, accessibility, and effectiveness of the courts. Accessibility and effectiveness of the courts. This is what I want my republic to follow. An order or decision issued by a court binds all persons to whom and organs of state to which it applies. My divorce order grants me parental responsibilities and rights of Nyiko Mangolele, and the order by the Honorable Davis J. in Pretoria on 17 October 2019 grants me access to Aluta Songelwa. People are not following that. Each time this matter is not heard in accordance with its terms, simply means that, antithetical to the supremacy of the Constitution and the rule of law, the judiciary supports and perpetuates criminal activity, corruption, apartheid, or misconduct in critical capabilities. All efforts are engaged upon to arbitrarily or without just cause force the plaintiff to believe that he is convicted to imprisonment for 5 years since 8 August 2018 in terms of Section 105 of the Defense Act as misrepresented in the DoD PESOL system, while the reality is that the plaintiff was never convicted for a charge of offensive behavior. With fear, favor, or prejudice, the plaintiff is also arbitrarily or without just cause forced to believe that he was heard or granted an opportunity of being heard on 14 September 2018 by the Honorable Davis J. before granting the order in terms of Section 21B and C of the Vexatious Proceedings Act. While the reality is that the plaintiff was never heard or granted an opportunity of being heard on 14 September 2018 by the Honorable Davis J in compliance with the provisions of Section 21B of the Vexatious Proceedings Act. The plaintiff suffers irreparable harm and has lost everything, including his cell phone, and has no means to come physically to court but resort to practice directive issued by the Judge President allowing the use of Microsoft Teams to conduct judicial proceedings. The court must, in terms of Section 1951E of the Constitution, respond to the plaintiff's needs and stop supporting criminal activity, corruption, apartheid, or misconduct. To the registrar, kindly set down the matter in accordance with the above information. God bless Africa and all her children and protect them from corruption, criminal activity, apartheid, or misconduct. This was served via email to the respective parties. Fellow South Africans, in this team's meeting, I am still alone. And then if I am to enter the emails of the participants, maybe we do it like this, and then we will then agree to come to terms. Because we must come to terms. We don't have much of a choice but to come to terms. That is what must happen in any event. And coming to terms is a reality where one cannot run away from this particular issue. And I will do this thing again for tomorrow. So this participant is not there. And we will ask for the chief registrar. And the chief registrar is seemingly also not there. Not there. Not today. So, good people, I have this reality where now they are not there, and then with them not being there, it's an issue of you having to leave after 45 minutes or so, in fact, to be precise, 43 minutes. of diligent and accurate information giving to the public by fostering transparency. Fellow South Africans, we have this particular reality where people don't do their jobs. We have this particular reality where now the Western Cape High Court is refusing to do its job. We have a serious problem, and a problem that must be resolved amicably in accordance with the Constitution and the law. I will then take this particular broadcast and then respond to the court's registrar and others to tell them to show them this particular link, and then set the matter down tomorrow again. And I will ask the registrar to do the things that must be done in accordance with court rules. We have a matter. That matter must be heard. It is an urgent matter that the Western Cape High Court has been avoiding since its inception on 30 December. On 30 December, we have had a reality where a member in the High Court did the things that were not supposed to be done at the High Court. And if I may show you this particular reality, the matter had issues with its inception, but through the grace of the good Lord, the matter survived. And as the matter has survived, it is an issue where the reality of the matter in the people's minds is that this is what was supposed to have happened on the matter. Here it was Mr. Owen Lane Hayes busy tearing my papers there. And while tearing those particular papers, he was tearing all the papers that had the stamp of the court, but because you understand that the court process is such that your copy, the copy of the state attorney or the copy of the parties, and the copy of court must all have the original stamp when it is or during inception. And then so what happened there is that Mr. Owen Kleinhans tore two of the three documents that were already issued. And because one was issued, then one simply said, okay, I got the case number, I've got the stamp, and then the matter must be heard, is issued. The drama that happened in court and the unprofessionalism of the matter, where registrars get involved in court decisions in order to disrupt the public or to mislead security to believe that a person is there to cause trouble only to fend for his family and then uphold his rights, is something that must come to a stop. So Mr. Kleinhans wanted to tear all the papers when I stopped him in there. In fact, before he started doing the action, he started calling the security performing, saying, you are threatening me, and then I feel threatened around you, I'm not safe, and then you, what, all those attitude that is antithetical to the obligations imposed by the Constitution in chapter 10. So, good people, I have suffered too much in relation to the courts trying to run away with the reality that criminals like Vice Admiral Samuel Hlongwane must be arrested and sent to jail. That criminals such as General Solishoke must be arrested and sent to jail. And all those who have supported them in sustaining the criminal activity, corruption, apartheid and misconduct must go to jail. And I say this because it is the truth. Because that is what the law says. Let us not operate in reverse in our country and then be proud to be a nation that operates in reverse. And let us not be in a position where one is sitting and hoping for service or praying for service, while the reality is that people are operating opposite to the obligations imposed of the Constitution. My job is to defend the Constitution. When the Constitution says this is what must happen, it's exactly that. That is the reality. And I am there to guard what the Constitution says. If people are willingly doing everything in their power to sustain criminal activity, corruption and misconduct that they can clearly see, and such happens with impunity, forgetting all the basic values and principles of a high standard of professional ethics must be promoted and maintained. Efficient, economic and effective use of resources must be promoted. A public administration must be development orientated. Service must be provided impartially, fairly, equitably, and without bias. And to correct that, the public administration must be development oriented. And service must be provided impartially, fairly, equitably, and without bias. Equitably. If you can live stream a video of the other person or the proceedings there too, what is wrong with you live streaming the proceedings of the other? And when you sit and look at it, it is cost effective. The judge does not even have to go to the office. He can do it at home. The other parties, they do not even have to go to their office. They can do it respectively at home. We must develop this country, people. We must go forward. I am here to develop this country. I am here to ensure that all people are equal before the law. I am here to educate you as people of the Republic to know. Don't say we don't know, but to know that the basic principles governing public administration must be governed by the democratic values and principles enshrined in the Constitution. You must know. When the law says a high standard of professional ethics must be maintained, what do you expect me as a soldier to do? To accept a low standard of professional ethics such as this case? When the law says efficient, economic, and effective use of resources must be promoted, and I tell you that I do not have money for the past 37 months, and then I don't have a cell phone right now, and I don't have anything other than what the efficient and economic effective use of resources such as data. Public administration must be development oriented. I say that again because it is true. Public administration must be accountable. I must be accountable to the people. I must. Transparency must be fostered by providing the public with timely, accessible, and accurate information. And good human resource management and career development practices to maximize human potential must be cultivated. Was the plaintiff's human potential maximized? Is it being cultivated? Fellow South Africans, I ask you to understand this particular reality. That the Minister of Defense knows that good human resource management and career development practices to maximize human potential must be cultivated. She knows that. She just does not want to apply it to Sylvester Volane Mangolele for simply doing his job to educate the Republic. General Rozani Mopwanya knows that this is the Constitution. They know that. Vice Admiral Samuel Hlongwane knows that this is the Constitution. And we must cultivate good human resource management and career development practices. They know that, but they are not doing it. Why? because we run our offices based on personalities and we want to impoverish people, good, hard working citizens such as Sylvester Volane Madala Mangolele be impoverished and live to suffer as if he does not even know what his name is. There is no buloi go government thing. Go government thing is these principles. There's no witchcraft. Don't say no, he's being bewitched. There are these principles. Meta ndimudise. And I say these things because Meta ndimudise is the person or a group of people that is holding my salary and then instigating my suffering. And the president in this matter is allowing Meta ndimudise to do that. The president who must uphold the law. People must not so-call. The president must do all this, must make sure that public administration must be accountable, but is not doing it. Good people, I am tired of having incompetent people in critical capabilities. Good people, I am a commander in the South African National Defence Force, and below me I command all subordinates below the rank of lieutenant commander. I lead all of them, whether you love me or you do not love me. As long as you are below my commission, you are a subordinate to whom I must account to and to whom I have been accounting to all this time. I post things on Facebook. This is what is happening. No, Mangolele is talking too much on Facebook. Now, this day, to this day, all soldiers are made scared to be watching Facebook. All soldiers cannot fulfill their basic fundamental rights enshrined in terms of Section 16 and 18 of the Constitution. When it comes to Sylvester Volane Mangolele, and that is what the Commander-in-Chief upholds. As if Sylvester Volane Mangolele is not a citizen of the Republic of South Africa or is not an equal person before the law anywhere in the world as obligated by an international agreement, which is the Universal Declaration of Human Rights at Article 6. There's no, I know it by like a back of my hand. Fellow South Africans and all people in the universe, the incumbent President Cyril Ramaphosa and his administration are failing the Democratic Republic of South Africa and her people. I stand before you all today, humbled by the task before us to ensure that the Constitution is upheld, is defended, and respected as the supreme law of the Constitution of the Republic. And that the unity of the nation is promoted. Fathers are with their children, and all organs of state employed to ensure that fathers see their children, such as social workers in all local communities of the Republic of South Africa, will have a dedicated social worker, a ratio of which shall be determined by the number of individuals living in that respective community. Fellow South Africans, I am at work as the sixth president. I am being obstructed to function in accordance with the Constitution and the law. Fellow South Africans, all of you understand the reality that the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, Act 108 of 1996, is the supreme law of the Republic. Law or conduct that is inconsistent with it is invalid, and the obligations imposed by it must be fulfilled. And hear me very well when I say the incumbent fifth president, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, and his administration are in direct assault, in gross violation of what defines the supremacy of the rule of law. That is why I cannot hesitate to say to the Speaker of Parliament and Secretary of Parliament of the Republic of South Africa, ensure that the matter before you in terms of Rule 130 is heard in accordance with its terms. The people of South Africa are suffering. All people are subject to be treated equally as I am treated. All of them. None of them will be spared, just so that corruption, criminal activity, apartheid, and misconduct is upheld. I tell it to you straight and put it to you that as a father, my children will not sing, "Let us live and strive for freedom." No. I was dumb when I did that. I did not understand the true actual meaning of the term strive and exactly the full picture. Until I have, in terms of Section 4 of the Constitution, declared by a proclamation the replacement of the terms "Let us live and strive for freedom in South Africa, our land," with "Let us live and enjoy freedom in the universe, our home," in the national anthem of the Republic of South Africa. It is true. I do my job. It is true. Those who do not do their job must be prosecuted. And let us allow one of many millions of South Africans who are competent but without employment to come and fulfill the obligations imposed by the Supreme Law. Let us not run away from the obligations imposed by the Constitution. Let us face them with dignity, and let us face them with loyalty and pride. We are strong as a nation. We are stronger than corruption. I call upon all South Africans, wherever they are, to stand up against corruption, to end corruption. This shall be done starting with the police service as the initial point of entry to the criminal justice system. The police service must not fear to register corruption, because they do know for a fact that corruption leads to the president or other people in critical capabilities being sent to jail if the law is to be followed to the latter, as I am following it with astuteness and profound leadership qualities that are embedded in me. I understand that no person alive known to my vocabulary can withstand what I have withstood in defense of the Constitution and its supremacy. Good people, I have suffered. Condemned to a savage road to which nobody should be condemned. In a barbaric state where my countrymen and fellow comrades in arms, instead of doing everything in their power, including at the risk of their own lives, save me from criminal activity, corruption, and apartheid, they did the opposite. In fear. Mangolele does not fear. Mangolele is a well-trained, disciplined soldier who understands his mandate and oath of office to serve and defend the country and its people in accordance with the Constitution and the law, and with honor, dignity, courage, and integrity. I understand that. I understand that I cannot desert my duties. I understand that. However, the incumbent President Cyril Ramaphosa and his administration do not understand the importance of a person, any person. They view you based on how much you have or who you connected with, and nothing in relation to the statutory obligations imposed in terms of the Constitution, which they must uphold, defend, and respect. And when we get angry, as any other person would be angry to be without salary for 36 months, they say, we are not going to help him. Is it you helping me when you're paying my salary, or is it you rooting out criminal activity, corruption, misconduct, or apartheid in critical capabilities of state, and comply to the statutory requirements of the obligations imposed by an act of parliament to arrest the decline in critical capabilities through immediate directed interventions? You do not know that. Some of us as soldiers do listen and obey lawful commands. Fellow South Africans, all people, I shall leave this particular teams because there has not been any participant in this particular regard. And then this is another justice delayed being justice denied. So, in simple terms, we have a reality where people make it as if they do not know what their duties are. Because if we don't like you, I will sort you out. People make it as if they do not know what the principles of Ubuntu the spirit of Ubuntu and the principles of Batupele imply on all South Africans, especially ordinary South Africans. Ordinary South Africans are caused to believe that it is normal that when your cell phone is stolen, the police will just only open a case and nothing will happen. They will not investigate it. They are forced to believe that, It's like it's a norm, and then it say yes, we agree. We must lose cell phones, and then the police will not do anything. And then indeed the police do not do anything. Why? Is that not a decline in critical capabilities? Good people, I have work to do. And I need you to do your job. I cannot do my job if other people, such as the courts, are not doing their jobs. You are showing people live. Other courts, when we are saying we are independent and impartial. Impartial, what is impartial? Mangolele, impartial. Mangolele, independent. Mangolele, impartial. We are not going to listen to that one. He wants to remove our president, and we are impartial, and then, but not to Mangolele. No, people, it's sickening. Western Cape management, deal with this reality. The mayor of Western Cape, deal with this criminal activity, corruption, and misconduct. Whichever political party is in charge of the Western Cape, deal with this particular criminal activity, apartheid, and misconduct by the High Court of South Africa in the Western Cape. There are people in there that are serious as judges who want to fulfill the obligations imposed by the Constitution. However, they are caused to live in fear, they are caused to live in shiver, they are caused to live in despair. It's not that the judge cannot read that you can't. Yes, as Mangolele was not heard, and the obligations that are imposed here by this section says he was supposed to be heard. Let me make a fair ruling in terms of section 172 of the Constitution and grant Mangolele a just and equitable order, and let Mangolele be with his children, his family, and serve his country and his people in accordance with his oath of office. Any erudite judge who is independent and subject only to the Constitution and the law can make that particular ruling. Just do not come with an attitude on me saying that I am a judge, you will do as I say. I will ignore that you have a car, it's a Lexus, and then you must be driving your car. I will ignore it because you are saying it's Ramaphosa. I don't want that attitude from judges who are acting in terms of section 165 of the Constitution, because all that I have received all these years is that a judge saying, Mangolele, do I listen to him or I don't listen to him? Master, tell me, how is slavery going to end when judges are slaves themselves? And they are slaves because they say, let us live and strive for freedom in South Africa, our land. Only a slave, good people, lives to struggle or strive for freedom in their land. And I'm here to solve that issue of slavery. I am here to free you all, fellow South Africans, from slavery. You will say, let us live and enjoy freedom in the universe, our home. I will start hearing those who follow the 6th president to be singing that. And those who follow the 5th president will be continuing to say, let us live and strive for free. Re tlogele wena man, re batlo nna makgoba mo lefatsheng mo South Africa lefatshe la rona. Re tlogele wena modimo a re batle tokologo tu ska re fatokologo ne ska re fatokologo re rata Ramaphosa o re patela rona re le selfish as batswadi. We are not going to think for our children for them to stop struggling as we are struggling for money, struggling as we are struggling for freedom, struggling as we are struggling to live a better life. We've said something wrong to God and said, let us live and struggle for freedom. And God allowed us to live and struggle for freedom. And when we struggle for freedom, we complain to God to say, hey, you said you want to live and struggle for freedom. What is wrong with you? And he says, pray again. Kosisikele Africa. Morena boloka setšhaba sa eso. Blow fun on se yelmel. Let us live and strive for freedom. The highest note, you scream to God. You scream to God and say, God, hey man, I don't want freedom, man. I want to live and struggle or strive or attempt for this freedom in South Africa, my land. Don't give me freedom. God, hey, God. I don't want to enjoy freedom. Mangolele, they said he's in jail for 5 years. I see he's outside jail, but I believe those who say he's in jail for 5 years. And my children will continue to suffer because people are saying Mangolele is in jail for 5 years. People, make up your own minds. Make up your own minds. You are parents. You are not puppets to the incumbent President Cyril Ramaphosa, who is not promoting the unity of a nation. Look at Ramaphosa. I call him to court. Ramaphosa, come uphold and respect and defend the Constitution as obligated in terms of Section 83 and make sure that the upper guardian of the children's right, which is the High Court of the South Africa, must act in accordance with that. But they are not. They are following, he's my friend. Ramaphosa is my friend. You know, Ramaphosa is my friend. I'm not going to allow this one to say, but I'm going to be telling the people, stop being hypocrites. Hypocrisy is you being false. You being false is you thinking that I'm a female while I'm a male. You get what I'm saying? I want an end to this. The terms are there before the court. This record is there before the court. And if you sit down and look at it, I have recorded these proceedings from page 1. And if you want all those particular things, you will find them exactly where they are. The only things that I did not record is few of the pages, but I've recorded most of them. They are there. And the ones that have been not recorded have been crisscrossed too during other interpretations, because there are two basic fundamental things here. Is Mangolele convicted for imprisonment to jail, yes or no? No. Okay, pay Mangolele his salary. Was Mangolele in Cape Town on the 14th of September, yes or no? No. Then pay Mangolele his billions. Do you understand? SLC, you owe me 80 million. South African Human Rights Commission, you owe me 50 million. SABC, you owe me 50 million. And Minister of Defense, you owe me 15 billion, including other monies. I understand that you are scared. I understand that you did not never ever in your own lives think that any other soldier will take seriously the words, I pledge to serve and defend my country and its people in accordance with the Constitution and the law, and with honor, dignity, courage and integrity. I understand that you don't believe that soldiers must serve and defend their country and their people. I understand that. And you are doing everything in your power to make sure that other soldiers, they keep singing that thing as a rice station. I pledge to serve and defend my country and its people, but hey, come defend country. Yo ke tshwana le mangolele. Awa. A go tshwana le mangolele. Andizofana no mangolele. Khani ni. You understand? So you must understand what you are doing to people, especially my juniors. And you must understand how you grow in corruption, especially to the seniors. And you must understand that the people can see the network and relations and how you abuse state resources. And you must understand that all those people also have their children that they must teach correctly to pray and say to God, God, we sound the call to come together, and united we shall stand to live and enjoy freedom in the universe, our home. The universe is each and every space you find yourself or you can even think of that is in your mind. I wish not to waste any further time here. I have got some other administrative functions that I must do that are required by the country and its people. And then people, I just only ask an end to this mediocre where people are blaming me to say, oh, Mangolele is fighting hard, but then they are not looking at the realistic situation here that has our country on its knees. Corruption has our country on its knees, starting from number one, President Day. President Cyril Ramaphosa allows the incumbent Chief Justice Mogoeng to judge himself. It's true. He allows other judges to say, no, Mangolele is not a person. It's true. He comes to court, you see, okay, they are saying he's vexatious. He does not have any reasonable grounds. Mangolele, you are 36 months without a salary for you. They said when you are in jail for 5 years and you are not in jail, I can't. There's nothing I can do. People don't understand that the current attorney on record, in many instances, obligated by his duty to the court, he must talk on my behalf. Because when you're saying you are representing the state where my life is entrusted to, you are representing me. In any event, fellow South Africans, until further ado, Papa Ote, take good care. I love you, my children, Alutam and Nico. I love you guys. You must meet Mama Jila. These people must pay my salary so that I can go home. I ke batlo fitla ke ntse ke potela Mama Jila ke re mama ko khoto enke tenne mo kekolo wa batho. She's 83 years of age. She has seen apartheid and understands apartheid to its core, to have been living it in her final days. If you have no respect of me as a person in the Republic of South Africa, have respect for Leta Kukunana Machila as a person of the Republic which you serve and defend in accordance with the Constitution and the law. Fellow South Africans, in any event, Papa Ote.